Hello, everyone. This week I spoke with my good friend Mikeal Smoker. Mikeal is the current finance director of the Colon American Legion, and he was a commander for many, many years. Mike has his hands in so many projects, and we talked about so many different fundraisers. And we also talked about one of his passion projects, which is the Veterans Memorial Park down on Swan Street. But we also talked about the big community park on the west end of town. So it might get a little tough to track where Mike and I went. It's a little convoluted, but I think if you listen to the end, you'll be able to kind of piece it all together.
All right, here we go. The reward for me is just watching the final product get done, the outside of the building. Yeah. You know, once the inside gets done, once Veteran Memorial Park gets done, I can say I was part of that.
Yeah. Welcome to 5-Star Talks. I'm your host, Carl Thornton. This podcast is dedicated to enhancing the already great little village of Colon, Michigan. I hope you enjoy. Sitting here with my good friend, Mikeal Smoker.
Hi, Carl.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, well, see how it goes.
We have a lot to discuss. So I'm going around town talking to people trying to enhance Colon, and obviously you're the main man.
I'm the main man, huh?
You're right up there.
How the heck did that happen?
You're one of the top.
Well, I didn't mean it to happen. I guess it just happened.
No, that's great.
So, hey, I was born over in Sturgis, Michigan, and about 3 or 4 years old, my mom and dad decided to buy a farm in the Colon area over on Lindley Road. And so it was a 40-acre farm. So we ended up moving in there, and so I've been in Colon pretty much all the way through high school. I graduated in 1970. And ended up, after graduation, going to a little factory in Sturgis called Kirsch Company and worked there for about 4 years. I says, gosh, am I going to do this the rest of my life? I said, oh. So in the little union book, they said, hey, you can go in the military for 3 years and come back with your same seniority. And I said, well, wow. I became a military policeman in the Canine Corps and went through bomb dog school, went through patrol dog school, narcotic school for a dog. And then I got stationed over in Germany for 25 months. Came back. So here I am back at Kirsch Company again. Well, when I walked into Kirsch Company, the plant manager wanted to know if I wanted to become a supervisor. I said, sure. So I became a supervisor there for about 25 years. Then I ended up leaving there and going to a place called Asthma Manufacturing in Battle Creek, Michigan. And I was a manager there for 11 years, and it was owned and ran by the Japanese. So it was just a great experience for the different culture of learning different methods of manufacturing. And I had a goal to retire at 55, put this little goal together at 19, and I had a couple of things in there. I think it was 2 divorces that I didn't really put into the goal. And so I didn't retire until I was 57. So then I came back. Then I sold everything I had because my daughter lived down in North Carolina. And so I sold everything and went down to North Carolina for a while because she was down there. And they were getting ready to start up some kind of a construction business. And they wanted me to get them going. And I said, okay, well, that was in 2008. And what happened in 2008? Yeah. So that really never happened, and I was bored because I've been a workaholic all my life. So I ended up deciding to drive a semi and travel around the United States for about 3 years. And my goal there was to pay off my kids' college loans, and then I bought this beat-up old little house there in North Carolina. So I had people redo the inside and outside of that to retire down there. So I was driving truck for like 3.5 years, and then had all that done, kids' college paid off, had the house all done, ready to retire. Told my daughter I was going to retire, and about a week later she said, well, she's ready to move back to Michigan.
After you get the house?
After I get everything all done. So I said, okay. So I ended up having to sell the house, and I moved back to Michigan about 9 years ago. So I decided to go to the American Legion, being a veteran, and see what's going on. So I started following their meetings for about a year. And the American Legion was really struggling. The membership was going down. There was no activity in the place. So I stepped up and I said, I'll be the commander. And they looked at me. And because normally if you're going to be the commander, you're going to start in different officers' positions and work your way up to the commander. Well, I just became the commander. And so I went to this. They voted me in. I'm the commander. Now I'm going to the district meetings. They needed a county commander. So I became the county commander for 2 years. And I wanted to get the American Legion going. Sons of the American Legion. I wanted to get that program going. So I became the commander of the Sons of the American Legion. Got a breakfast going with them. For my first year, I was the commander of all those positions. But when I became the commander, I put together a 5-year plan to where what needed to be done here at the American Legion. And then the main thing to do was to get more members. And so that was the goal, members. You can't have a club without members.
5-Star Talks is sponsored by 5-Star Pizza in Lower, Southwest Michigan, and LaGrange, Indiana, and also by Graminetti Cheesecakes. Stop in and get yours today.
So when I put together what I needed to do, my first goal was to do the outside of the building, and I brought in 3 bids. I needed about $80,000. So I figured out with this project and this project, I decided to start bingo up.
I remember when you told me about bingo, and this being a lake town, and you know how it fills up on the weekends, and I was like, Mike, what? I think you're gonna do it every Monday. And I'm like, you should do it. I said you should do it a Saturday a month, and you're like, Carl, I'm gonna do it every Monday for a year, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I thought you were wrong.
I remember that.
And I was so wrong.
Yeah.
I thought he's crazy.
Yeah.
And now on a Monday night, sometimes you struggle to find a parking spot.
Us with Tim Taylor, met Tim, and riding around, we brainstormed a bunch of things, and then all of a sudden what came up there was the Magic City Grill Fest. And Tim decided to do that. So Tim also is a Sons of the American Legion member, and he ramroded that whole thing, and gosh, he did an absolute great job, and he made over $20,000 each year. He's pretty much did that, which that went into the building fund also. So with the building fund, you would take the bingo and the Magic City Egg Fest and the other things that we cut back on and blah, 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 blah. I had the $85,000, $90,000 in 3 years to where I've got the Schwartz boys to do the outside of the building. And they did a magnificent job.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty job. What I wanted to do before I left the Legion or died or whatever, I wanted to do the outside of the building, the inside of the building. But the inside of the building, we still keep doing bingo and the Magic City Egg Fest and all the other things. We have right now around a couple $100,000 in our account now to redo the inside of the American Legion, and we have architects designing it as we speak. So hopefully within the next year, we will have the inside of the building all done too. The village wanted me to take Swan Creek Park and make it into a Veterans Memorial Park, and I told them, okay, I would be honored to do that and get a crew up of veterans and do that process.
And that's a big project.
That's a huge project. So we decided to ask the Western Michigan University Engineering Department if they had a 5th-year seniors that would like to do a final project. On April 6th, they're going to come down with a final draft at the Colon American Legion at 7 o'clock. Anybody and everybody's invited to come and look at it if they want to see it. It's going to be a rough draft of what the kids come up with to present Veterans Memorial Park.
So I know you wanted a statue, and didn't you want like a arc or something over? I mean, is that the whole?
That'd be the whole thing, yeah. All the a bronze statue along with the granite walls and the flagpoles.
Talk about the bronze statue, because I think I know what you wanted. What kind of statue are you looking at?
So the bronze statue, I went to an Army reunion at Lackland Air Force Base where the dog trainers were. We were all trained for the dogs. And they put up a $2.5 million park there. So in that park, there was a 9-foot statue with a weapon, and it was just so gorgeous. And so I got a hold of the lady out in California that did that 9-foot statue and see if she could make a replica of that, but only a 6-foot, not a 9-foot. So she said she could, and she would. And I think she's still waiting for us to do it. I'm waiting for the girls to contact her and see what she says now, because it's been 3 or 4 years since I've talked to her. I says, I don't care what it cost. You know, if it costs $500,000 or $1 million, I don't care. We'll get the money to do it.
Yeah.
Somehow or another, we'll get the money to do it.
I love the can-do attitude.
I'll tell you, the Queen of Hearts, we probably somewhere around 60 new members just with the Queen of Hearts. People loved it. And we've got, the American Legion is doing so well is that people from other areas are just coming and joining the American Legion. So, you know, back when I started 7, 8, 9 years ago, we had maybe 220 people or so, but we're 300 plus now.
Yeah.
And we're really, really doing well as an organization. And so far, the Queen of Hearts has brought in revenue a little over $70,000 in last year and this year so far. So overall, though, we have just over $100,000. We've had donations from the township, the auxiliary, the veterans have donated some. The Sons of the American Legion group did some. The Garden Club stepped up. Thank you, Garden Club. You did a great job. The Masonics gave us some money. And then we had personal donations of 150, 200, those type of donations there. We're also working on a Spark grant. And you're allowed to apply for $1 million for each project. So we've applied for $350,000 for Veterans Memorial Park, and we've applied for $750,000 for the city park. So fundraiser here is Buy a Brick fundraiser. So this is to where you can buy a brick 4x8, or you can buy one 8x8. Right. So for instance, I have 7 uncles, and I'm getting with all their kids, my first cousins, to see if they'll buy a brick and put that down in the park. So we have this fundraiser. If you want to put a clip art on it, it costs another $25 for the 4x8. If you want to buy a 8x8, you can do that, and they're $150 and $25 for the clip art. A person has to have been in the military.
That goes on the brick.
That goes on the brick,
Okay.
and then the brick. Now, if you have, if you wanted to donate $1,000, they have the paver bricks to where we could do that. But those paver bricks, which are probably about the same price, would go on the outside of the park. Okay, so another fundraiser we're putting together, and this is kind of the Sons of the American Legion doing it, but we're putting together a 501c. Our 501c3 is a nonprofit organization. We're going to call it Colon Community Outdoor Enrichment. And the first fundraiser we're going to do is with the brick that I just stated, and then the second one is that we're putting together a half a triathlon for July 29th. Oh, during that process, I says, hey, why don't we call Colorado Springs and see if they want to sponsor us? And they said, what do you mean Colorado Springs? I said, well, the Olympic department. And they look at me. I said, I've always thought out of the box. I always go as high as I can go. And these things go all the way up to the Olympics. So we call the Olympic department and see if they'll help us out. So, hey, if you don't have enough guts to do it, I'll do it. So the director said, I'll do it. So he called them up, and hey, they said they'd help sanction it. They told us what dates to try to do it with, because there's other ones around the area. And they also give us a $10 million liability insurance. So they're full liability for the whole triathlon. There is a website, and it's called fullbattlerattle.ticketsocket.com.
Well, could you make it any bigger?
Yeah. And there's all kinds of ways. We're going to start flashing this on social.
May I see that?
We had to change the date to July 29th, and so it was.
I just want to say this a little bit slower. fullbattlerattle.ticketsocket.com.
It'd be a half a mile swim,
Okay.
15.2 mile bike ride,
Okay.
and a 5K run, which is 3.1 miles. I have a personal goal of $50,000. We have a goal of 200 people, but I think we can max out both of those.
What will you call it?
We're calling it the Legion Full Battle Rattle Sprint Triathlon. Look out. Look out. It's a long, besides the event, it's long.
Gotcha.
Name.
Well,
So
I think you should make a few more letters on it. Make it even more difficult.
we could go out a little bit further. Yeah, why not? Heck, sure. I'm on the park committee, and we're putting a 5-year plan together for the community park. And
the big park?
the big park.
Okay.
and we've got some really cool ideas there, and we'd really like to get the community's input also. Last year, I was voted in for president of the chamber.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce. And now I have April, and then I'll be done with that. So that'll help.
Well, we'll see.
Well, that'll help give me some more time to get more things around this Veterans Memorial Park to get it done before I die.
I'm sure that's going to happen. I'm
Yeah.
sure. So, okay. I mean, you have a zillion irons in the fire, and I have no doubt that it's all going to happen. I mean, I've watched what you've done the last decade, so
Yeah.
it really has been impressive.
So as you know, though, the Magic City the Magic City Egg Fest,
Yes, sir.
we've decided, you being on part of the team, we decided to make this a Magic City Grill Fest to where we can use pretty much any grill with any type of charcoal. Those type of things can't be gas.
As long as they fit inside the 10 by 10 or whatever.
The 10 by 10, correct. So, yes, so I think that'll get more people. I think a lot of the people were a little scared of that big green egg, but I think a lot more people will get involved with the Magic City Grill Fest.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's been crazy successful.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's going to be June 17th this year. So, we also have that one fundraiser, Carl, we call the Pontoon Poker Run.
yes,
And if I remember correctly, you're in charge of that.
I am.
And it's been a great success.
Yeah, that's fun.
And fun. And
Much easier. I feel bad for Tim because the Big Green Egg or Big Grill Fest, that's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
And then the poker run, I'm like, I have 5 good friends.
Yeah.
I don't micromanage. Do what you want at your house.
It goes quick.
I don't care.
And you made how much money? About $10,000 somewhere in that area. And so it's been a really great fundraiser.
Not only a fundraiser, and this goes for all of them. This goes for the Queen of Hearts. I just like the idea of you meeting people that you would never have met.
Well, this Pontoon Poker Run has been a great thing, and it's July 8th this year.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get a good crew for that.
We had 38 boats and 250 people last year.
I mean, what we need the younger generation to step up a little bit in these organizations to keep them going.
And it's got to be fun.
Yeah.
People, if they're going to go invest their time and their money, they want to have fun. So if you get to the Legion one time and you meet the right couple people, it's just fun.
Yeah. And I'm all about fun.
I know you are. Hard work and fun.
I'm fun. I've worked hard.
Great town, and we just keep moving forward. And I just appreciate everything you've done.
The reward for me is just watching the final product get done, the outside of the building.
Yeah.
Once the inside gets done, once Veteran Memorial Park gets done, I can say I was part of that.
Yeah. Mikeal, I want to thank you for everything.
This is not one of my things to do,
No, you're a good speaker.
So
thank you for everything you do for Colin.
Some of it's probably pretty boring. Sorry, gang, but
no, that wasn't boring. Not at all. I appreciate it, and I guess I'll see you at the Legion tonight.
All right.
All
See
right.
you then.
Thank you.
Bye.